I just thought it was weird. But
like
then,
it's supposed to be a social group activity.
yeah,
Okay.
like you don't go to the movies by yourself is what I thought.
Because you're a
before.
crazy person. If you
Yeah, it's just like, or you're lonely or you have no friends. Like, what's wrong with you?
I wonder if it's an extrovert introvert thing.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Big Mood. Welcome. Who do we have here today?
Jess.
And Nikki.
But switch those voices.
Yeah.
And I'm Tiff. Thank you for joining us once again on this beautiful evening.
We've started this episode very sensually.
Yeah.
Unnecessarily.
It's not a sensual episode.
No, I started like channeling talk radio host.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
what I was
Right.
trying to go
Like
for.
some advice.
It's because
Yeah.
What was that lady's name that she hosted the like Sunday night whatever?
I don't know.
Never
you're
mind.
listening to Big Mood Podcast.
Yeah.
There we go.
On 92.9 FM.
Yep.
All right,
The kids don't even know what that means.
I know. Does anyone listen to the radio
It's
anymore?
all satellite
Yeah,
radio now.
there's radio people.
If you're a Gen Z, leave in the comments if you know what FM and AM radio is. I'm kidding.
That's relevant because this is all advice from millennials to Gen Zers.
Oh wait, no.
No,
Is it?
yeah,
This
it's a
is
different one.
Nope,
episode.
it's not that episode.
But look out for that episode.
Yeah,
in the
that's
future.
coming later. That's coming later.
No, this episode, we're going to be talking about healthy behaviors that people are often shamed for.
Oh.
Yeah. So someone asked on Reddit, what is a healthy behavior that people shame others for? And a lot of these are pretty common, and I don't know. I thought it was pretty interesting.
So like
we could
maybe
talk
we
about.
should feel less guilty for these things, and for some reason society typically makes us feel bad
Exactly.
for this type of behavior.
Yeah,
Okay.
when it's like a genuinely like healthy
kind of like
thing.
normalize this type of
Right.
stuff. Okay.
So I'll give you the first one. So an example here is doing something you enjoy but being bad at it.
Oh,
You know,
yeah.
it's like you're enjoying it. Live your life.
Fuck
you do you, boo.
perfect.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's Nikki's branding.
Yeah.
Is it like, do you think, is it like, who makes people feel bad? Because the only time I can think of it is like if someone has too much like
ego.
ego
Yeah, they're
about it
cocky.
and they're not good
yeah.
at it, then I
Yeah.
could see kind of like people around them being like, you're not even good at it, so fuck off. But I feel like most people I know would be like, well, she's trying.
Yeah.
You know? But do you think that
If it's put on the internet, there's always going to be weird haters for no
Yeah,
reason that
true.
are just like, you're like,
No
how
matter
did
what.
you find me? Like,
Yeah.
how'd you find me?
who are you and why are you commenting on my
I
life?
didn't even put a keyword. I didn't even put SEO in this.
Yeah.
How'd you find this?
Yeah, that's true. Because that's how you started your Tasty Tuesday. Did you feel
Yeah.
like you came across a lot of that?
Oh, yeah. But only when they went viral because it was like, and they went viral a lot because people are looking up cooking videos and like sometimes weirdly like a dish will trend 2 years later or whatever. And then you get like a random wave of haters because you're not making the dish right or whatever. But yeah, I started Tasty Tuesday because I wanted to learn how to cook, having never had stepped foot in a kitchen really. Didn't know that you're supposed to prep ingredients before you start cooking. So I would literally be like, the burner would be on and it's like, add the garlic. And I'm like, oh, I gotta peel this. How do I?
You sound
It's
like me right now.
Oh my God, it's
Yeah, yeah.
burning.
This is literally my life
The
right
whole
now.
video was like,
That's how you
do people
learn.
do this?
That's how you
Exactly.
learn.
And I learned because there would be comments, nice comments, telling me, "Oh, you're actually supposed to do this beforehand.
Yeah.
Oh, this is how you get it peeled. Oh, this is it." And
Yeah.
and then there were people that were like, "Oh my God, I'm so glad you posted this because I relate and I didn't know that you're supposed to use this way to peel garlic until I read your comments." So it was like a group learning together,
Yeah.
and then people that know how to cook, helping.
Right.
And it took 5 years, but eventually, like, I pretty much know how to cook now.
Yay.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, you probably cook best out of all of us.
Yeah.
So it started comedically because I'm
Yeah.
like, I know I'm going to be bad. So it was just like make fun of the process, but I was also having fun.
yeah.
And I think that's the thing people are missing is the having fun part. Like
Exactly.
it shouldn't be about like being good right away.
Perfection.
You're not going to be good right away. Like you're not supposed to be good when you're a beginner.
You know, I just
Yeah.
recently experienced this. I know you guys were making fun of me because I'm on a company volleyball team. But so
I was
like,
just picturing that ass.
yeah. So, well, I was in full on, it was cold. So I was in like full on sweatpants.
A
and stuff.
wetsuit.
Fuck off. I was in sweatpants and a sweater. So I found myself like tagging out to like sit out and watch because I was like, oh, I'm not good. Like, but then everyone was like, no one cares about this league. Like, it's just for fun.
Yeah.
You know, and other people that were still staying in and not doing well and like losing points for the team and stuff like that and just having fun with it. But I was like, but we're like so close to winning that I feel like if I just stay out, maybe we can win. You know what I mean? But so I guess there's a line where it's like, just enjoy yourself anyway, because that's the point. Yeah. But also I kind of was like, if I come in
the competitive side.
Yeah, I was like, if I come in right now, ever, like, because it was the first time I had ever played volleyball. I've never played volleyball.
That's cool that you signed up for it.
Yeah,
Awesome.
I've never even touched a volleyball. I don't know the rules. I don't know anything about it. Like, the day that we started, like, we showed up and I was like, so what are the rules? They're like, oh, well, you can't hit it more than 3 times before you hit it back. And like, just telling me all this stuff. And I was like, okay, I don't remember anything you just said. But then, so we just started, but I felt kind of bad. I was like, oh, I don't want to do it because I don't know if they're going to think like, oh, why did we let her on the team?
Yeah.
You know,
But this is why I like you. This is the only reason. Okay. No, but I have to commend you because I feel like you do get out of your comfort zone. For someone so high anxiety that like needs to know how everything works and control everything. Yeah. Like, you do get out of your comfort zone a lot. Like, you didn't even want to be on a podcast or any form of in front of the camera work. And you thought you were bad at it and you thought you would ruin the show if you were on it. All kinds of stuff. And now look at you. You're like so good and people love you and you bring so much to the show. And so like, it's funny because you'll say things like, I have to sit in the same airplane seat every time or whatever.
My OCD stuff.
Yeah, but then you're like, oh yeah, I just signed up randomly for a volleyball team and I've never played volleyball before. I'm like,
awesome.
That's actually scary. And so that's so good that
I was
you get
super
out of your
nervous
comfort
before
zone.
I got there to the very first game. And then once I got there and it was so chill and I was like, what was I so worried about? Like, it was fine. Like,
you know that
you're here to be
debilitating
social.
fear that you have for the new things, but you're still able to get past it and do it. For the most part, for me, like, I can't get over that hump. Like, I need to be a perfectionist person. Like, that's why, like, recently, like, especially in the kitchen, like, I'm just like, all right, you know what? I gotta let this part of me go. Yeah. Like, it's holding me back and it's annoying.
Like, it's
I'm
okay
annoyed
if you
at
burn
myself.
the tortillas.
Right. So then I made this like Mexican bread and it actually didn't help me to like get over this hump for the next thing because I nailed it so perfectly. Good. Yeah. Where I was like, fuck, like now like the expectations are higher for the next time. I kind of wanted to fail a little bit so then I could like brush myself
for the
off.
expectations for you or for everyone that's gonna like, you know, like your family that's gonna eat it?
Mainly for me because I'm my biggest like judgmental person on me. Like I'm afraid of my judgment the most because I'm so judgmental towards myself. And so like I kind of wanted to fail a little bit. So then the next time I'm like, see, I got through that. But then I fucking killed it so hard that I'm like, damn it.
It's in your genes.
I do it again?
You can't be Mexican and not know how to cook. It just doesn't. It's like so embedded into your DNA that I don't think it matters. Like,
so funny.
There's no way you can fail. Just keep trying. Yeah. Well, you're gonna realize how good of a cook you really are. Yeah. And you were just holding out
Casey
the whole
keeps
time.
telling me that I keep like executing really well, like those like meal prep delivery stuff. Like every time I cook the chicken, like chicken breast, chicken
breast is hard.
It's always the juiciest, like the best chicken breast Casey's ever eaten.
Through, but still tender.
Yeah, it's still tender, and I'm like, really? I don't know. I just follow my gut.
Yeah,
like, I don't know how I do.
You're good at making babies.
I'm like, really?
I don't know how I do that.
Thanks
for noticing.
Such great chicken breast. No, but yeah. So anyway,
so yeah, just doing something even if you're bad at it.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
It's like just enjoy it. Like that's a healthy thing. Like, you know, you don't have to worry about being perfect at it.
And that's how you learn. Like you said, like you wish you failed a little bit. I wish more people embrace that mentality of like, oh, if I mess up, I'll learn something.
Yeah.
You know, you learn.
There's sometimes though where I'm like, you're really bad at this and you shouldn't do this. And one of my ex-boyfriends, he thought he was a rapper. Like he was going to become a rapper. Like legitimately, I'm not even kidding. Like that was his plan A and he didn't have a plan B.
Whoa.
And so like we would go out and then he would start to get kind of drunk towards the end of the night. And I remember I would be driving us home and he'd start rapping in the car. Right. And I was like, oh, this is hell. Like this is literal hell.
So he was not good at it.
He wasn't good at it. And I'm like, but I think it's because he was so like sure of himself. Yeah. And like he was like, he knew that he was the shit and he was like rapping in the car.
Like you couldn't tell him
and he
otherwise.
Was like, he was like, yo, girl, listen to this. Check this out. Da 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 da. oh
my gosh.
oh fuck, that's good. And he would go, I gotta write that down. And then I would just be sitting there like, oh my god, someone fucking kill me, like just kill me, like I don't need to live anymore.
Pretty good.
Yeah, it was really good sex. There was only good sex. That's all of it.
When he fucked you, was he like, oh, look at that? You feel that?
No.
Did you feel that?
No, he wasn't like that.
I gotta write this down.
Yeah, no. When he was like, when he would get drunk and then like turn into this like rapper Kanye person all of a sudden, you know
was
what I mean?
he me?
Yeah. He was like when Nicki turns into Eminem and it just like, we're like, turn it off, Nicki, turn it off.
Three drinks and I'm like, all right, we're doing this. Karaoke, Eminem all night.
Yeah, so it was like that, but he was for serious and that was his life.
Oh my goodness.
And he's still not a rapper and he still doesn't have a plan B. No.
Aww.
Yeah. And so, yeah. So sometimes when people say like, you're bad at this, you shouldn't do it. But I think it's probably just the like, maybe it's the level of like
commitment that you put into it.
yeah,
Like how much does it rule your life?
But you know that saying ignorance is bliss? I'm jealous of that, you know, because some people can hear criticism and still be like, nah, fuck you. Like, you haters. I'm fucking dopest rapper alive. Yeah. And maybe he's still in that world. Like, I'm fucking sick.
Yeah, he's like, you know, so-and-so didn't make it till they were 45. So I've got another 8 years to go.
And I'm like, God bless you, because you're way
outta
happier
here.
than me. They're so happy.
Yeah.
I know this girl who, similar thing. She's like, I'm an actress. And she like does skits and stuff, and she can not even sell a sentence. Like she's very like, is that the car? Like it's very like,
and you're like, turn it off. Like whatever you're turning on, just turn it off and talk.
Yeah. Like, but she keeps like posts and she loves it. She thinks she's really, really good. And she talks about like acting and the craft.
Well, she's
all
able
the
to
time.
get jobs. I mean, someone's liking it.
Yeah. But and so I always look at her and I'm like, I wish I had that. I wish I had that.
Yeah. That kind of
confidence. I beat myself up probably too much. Like, you know, me and you were, it's just like, oh, like I never feel competent enough.
Yeah.
Yeah. But honestly, your life is really your life. So if you're enjoying something, even if you're bad at it, you'll just get a new girlfriend. That's what's going to happen.
Exactly.
So just keep doing what you love.
I imagine him with some girl right now who's like, oh, that was sick.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Wait, did you write that down?
Yeah. Yeah. That's who he needs.
Yeah.
And then I feel like I just keep dating guys like that where I'm just like, this is really bad. And they're just like, you just don't understand my art, you know? And I'm just like, fuck, I'm a dream killer. Because I'm like, no, this shit is bad, yo. Don't write that down. Don't do it anymore.
All right, the next one on this list, it says, taking a healthy amount of time to take care of yourself, rest or recoup. Rest shouldn't be a reward. It should be treated as a necessary aspect of life. Because, you know, people get shamed for like taking like a day off, or like they'll even shame themselves. They'll be like, oh, I wasn't productive. Like, damn, I had a lazy Sunday. Fuck. Why didn't I do this on this day or whatever?
I am people.
Yeah, yes. Girl, you relate.
It's been like a really big pendulum swing though, where I'm like, am I napping too much now? Should I be doing
You're
more?
Finally resting from that like decade of over
10 years of rest.
Yeah,
that's true.
I don't know. I feel like maybe that's more of a corporate world thing, because I've realized over the last like kind of almost decade that I've been in the YouTube world over here in California. Like we do stuff and there's hustle culture or whatever, but it's not the same. Like, yes, maybe you'll be filming and doing stuff for long hours, but then it's just like it's an easy life still. You know what I mean? Like you can of course pack your day to have too much shit going on, but that compared to like working in a 9-to-5 where it's like literally feels like slavery kind of in certain times where we're like and you're not in control of like, well, I can take a nap for an hour now and then go film again, like how we do like some of those other jobs. So then everyone who's also like Stockholm syndrome with their coworkers and stuff, they're like, you took a whole Saturday off, like what, you know, like you didn't do anything else, you know? So it's
or like, when people especially in corporate world where they'll kind of shame you for taking vacation time. Yeah. Where it's like, wait, what? Like I literally
probably not your coworkers, but probably like your bosses and
or like
stuff.
the company culture. Like there could be a company culture of that where it's like, wait, like you have vacation days that you're actually cashing in. Like we don't do that.
Yeah.
Like,
sorry. Go ahead. Oh, you can go ahead.
I've also heard it's an American thing. You know, like because in Spain they take siestas. They like it's
not in Japan.
Incorporated.
In Japan, it got nuts with their work culture.
Oh,
to
yeah?
the point where they had to like force people to like, you need to take time off. Like this is insane.
Yeah, I think some
Workaholics.
European countries, maybe like more Spanish, they're more down for the siesta.
seem more
but
fun.
then like Paris and some of the other countries, because like I see forums in my industry and they're working 60-70 hours a week too. Like they're not like fucking chilling like everyone thinks in Paris. Yeah, but like in my industry they're working hell hours.
Yeah,
like,
France is the one that gets branded as the lazy ones. Where they're
Yeah.
like, I'm
Yeah.
lit tired.
maybe that's like other industry lit tired. Yeah.
Remember that? Do you remember that video? Do you remember that video with like the bombs and stuff? And like it's about the end of the world where there's nuclear bombs going off. They're like, fire the missiles. And then he's like, I'm lit tired.
No, I don't.
Like everyone dies except for California and
Oh, wow.
Hawaii.
No, but yeah, in France, though, each meal is like hours long.
Yeah.
Hours.
Because I was reading an article. This was back in, oh God, I'm really dating myself this episode. So we used to not have YouTube videos. We had like magazine articles that we read.
Yeah.
Back in the day.
Yeah,
we
we did
learned
read
about these and in
magazines.
Cosmopolitan.
They still exist.
Okay.
I don't know who's buying them.
I don't know who's buying them either, at least the physical ones. Anyway, I remember specifically reading an article about how French women stay thin, and they were talking about how the meals take a long time, even though they're eating butter and croissants and all this stuff. They're like, yeah, they thoroughly chew each bite, and like they cut and they put the utensils down like in between bites, like as they're chewing, they like put it down.
Yeah.
They
They're not
finish
just
the
like
bite.
sloughing it in. Like
and it's also
Yeah.
smaller portions.
In smaller portions. And,
also they smoke cigarettes, so they don't have as much of an appetite.
and they drink wine.
Yeah.
Lots of coffee.
Yeah, lots of coffee, stimulants.
You guys have all heard of Purple mattress, right? If you're sleeping on a terrible mattress, your sleep will be terrible. That's why I recommend the Purple mattress. I don't have the Purple mattress myself, but someone whose house I stay over at night does have a Purple mattress, and I do love it. One thing I do have though is a pillow. They sent us a pillow to try out, and I use it in my living room. It's got the Gel Flex grid on it. I sometimes like to lay there, watch TV, and I just kind of like squishy the pillow with my fingers because I love the feeling of the gel grid. It's like a really cool feeling. You have to try it at least once in your life. Give it a shot. Unlike memory foam, which remembers everything, the Gel Flex grid bounces back as you move and shift. You'll never have that I'm stuck feeling people get with memory foam. Try Purple mattress risk-free with free shipping and returns, and financing is available too. Getting a great night's sleep starts with having a great mattress. Get a Purple mattress. Go to purple.com/bigmood10 and use code bigmood10. For a limited time, you can get 10% off any order of $200 or more. That's purple.com/bigmood10, code bigmood10 for 10% off any order of $200 or more. One last time, purple.com/bigmood10 and use our promo code bigmood10 for 10% off. Terms apply.
When my cats are healthy, they are happy, and that makes me super happy. But since I'm not a mind reader, I don't always know when they're healthy. Helping me know that both of my kitties are healthy is just one of the reasons that I love using Pretty Litter. Pretty Litter's ultra-absorbent crystals trap odor instantly, so there's no more cat bathroom smell. Pretty Litter's super light crystal base also minimizes mess and dust. Plus, the crystals last up to a month, which means less scooping and fewer trips to the garbage can. The coolest thing about Pretty Litter is that it changes color to help me detect early signs of potential illness in my cats, including urinary tract infections and kidney issues. And Pretty Litter ships free to my door in a small, lightweight bag, and I never run out of it, so I don't have a huge container of litter taking up space and stinking up my place. I honestly love Pretty Litter. I've been using it for quite some time now, and I just love how it doesn't have that chalky dust that you tend to have with traditional, like conventional litter. Pretty Litter is like so clean, no dust. It also absorbs all of the urine, so I just have to scoop up the poop, and it's super easy to maintain my kitty litter boxes, especially with 2 cats. So Pretty Litter helps keep my cats healthy and keeps odor down. You and your cat are going to love Pretty Litter as much as we do. So go to prettylitter.com and use code BIGMOOD for 20% off your first order. That's prettylitter.com, code BIGMOOD for 20% off. prettylitter.com, code BIGMOOD.
All right, next one. Being slow to respond. I would rather respond correctly than quickly. Same for confidence level. If I am unsure, it means I want to double check. It seems more irresponsible to speak off the cuff, but I think the reality is that the fast talkers are rewarded more,
That's me.
even if they're wrong.
That's me.
So
I fucking answer real
this healthy
quick.
habit here is to be slow to respond. Like take your time, think about it, and people get shamed for it.
Yeah, well, I guess there's a difference between people not responding and seeming like they're not engaging or like not trying or just blowing it off. And so those people kind of, if they're not gonna put, you know, like a note on it, like, oh, can I take a couple hours or a couple of days to think this over and get back to you? Like, I guess if you're proactive in saying I am working on this and I am thinking about it, but like people like me, I will just fucking word vomit and I will have an answer and I'll probably convince you that it's the right answer, just and it works for me. Like it gets me places.
Yeah,
so
the confidence sells it.
The confidence sells it. So I can see how someone who's like, oh, I'm not really sure, like they're gonna get locked. I'm gonna get in front of them. I'm gonna steamroll them. I'm gonna get in front of them. And it may not even be based on merit. It's just I can sell it.
Right.
Yeah, that's what the world is about, though, is selling shit.
That's true. Nobody knows anything.
Nobody knows anything.
People pull things out of their ass and then they're like, that worked. All right.
Everyone,
move on.
People liked it. Got it. Let's go. Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree,
That's how a lot
though.
of people get in trouble too.
Yeah. Well, same. So I had to really slow my roll because, you know, in comedy, like you're just like improvising and stuff like that. But then I realized actually on JK News that like my brain will latch onto something I heard like 10 years ago, like someone randomly said, like I'm really good at trivia because like a random shit just pops in my head from things that were said, but I never like looked to see if they were correct. It's just something that I picked up and then it got stored in my memory. And then when someone says a trigger word about that, it opens a file of everything I know about that thing. And whatever's in there, I just grab it and I say it and it comes out of my mouth. And then people were like, that's actually not true. I'm like, you're probably right. Like, I'm not going to fight you. I just like didn't think about
Nikki's
it.
like, did you know if you swallow...
check it.
Nikki's like, did you know if you swallow a watermelon seed, a watermelon will grow in your stomach?
and you give birth to it. Isn't that amazing that humans can do that?
Everyone's like, no, that's not true.
And no one says anything in the room. They're all like, that's not true. And it's not until afterwards that people are like, you dumbass. You can't fucking grow a watermelon, you stupid bitch. Why didn't you shut up? And then I'm like, oh. And I Google it. I'm like, I don't know why that was in there, but I'll take it out now. Like, I'll take it out of the file.
I will formally remove this piece of information.
I'm not attached to the information.
So then when you're giving this piece of information, it's like with the utmost confidence that this is correct.
Because it got stored in there. Yeah.
Yeah, because then like I'll do something similar, but for me it's the complete opposite of the spectrum of confidence, where it's like I have this piece of like this fact or whatever, but I'm not for sure that it is a fact. I didn't fact check it myself, so I'm going to tell you, I don't know, but I think I heard this.
You're like, maybe I made this up. I don't know.
I don't remember, but
I had to
here
get
you
used
go.
to saying I don't actually know. But
Yeah.
Because before it was just like, oh, did you hear that? Blah, 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 blah. And people were like, really? I'm like, yeah. Crazy, huh?
They're like, really? That's funny because this says no.
I'm like, okay.
No.
Let me change it.
Let me change it.
And then someone else, I say it later, and they're like, no, it actually is true. I'm like, all right, well,
Put it back.
Putting it back.
That's funny. All right, next one. Doing things that are normally thought of as social activities by yourself, like eating at a restaurant or going to a concert, play, or a movie.
Oh, yeah. People think I'm so weird for that.
Yeah.
Steve shamed me for this because he was like, it's so weird, like people that just go eat alone. And I'm like,
Go eat alone?
Like eat alone at a restaurant or go watch a movie.
He's done
alone?
that. I've been at your house where he would leave for
That's
like 2
so true.
hours
That
to go eat.
motherfucker.
He would go. He would go
back.
He would go to that Mexican restaurant
Yeah.
that
Oh,
was
yeah.
a
Or the
walkable
bar.
distance.
Or he's cheating.
Oh, dun, dun, dun.
I think maybe I opened his mind up to
True.
it because it was like when we first started dating and his best friend went to a movie alone and he got offended because he wanted to see the movie with him. He was like, why didn't he just wait for me? Why didn't he invite me? Why didn't it? And I was like, sometimes you just want to see a movie alone. And he's like, that's weird. Like, why do people do that? And I'm like, I don't think it's that weird. I mean,
Dude, that was literally me and Casey. Because like early on too, he'd be like, oh yeah, I'm going to go watch a movie. I'm like, so like with me or like what? And he's like, oh, I'm just going to go alone. I'm like, that's fucking weird. Like, why are you going to go to
Do
the
you
movies
feel
by
like
yourself?
you're being rejected?
I just thought it was weird. But
Like
then,
it's supposed to be a social group activity.
yeah,
Okay.
like you don't go to the movies by yourself is what I thought.
because you're
before.
a crazy person. If you
Yeah, it's just like, or you're lonely or you have no friends. Like, what's wrong
I
with you?
wonder if it's an extrovert introvert thing.
I think so.
Yeah.
Because then afterwards, after he did that, I'm like, you know what? I want to try this out. Like, what is this like going to the theater by yourself? Like, how does that feel? So I went to the movies by myself and I watched this scary movie. I think it was Jennifer's Body or something. And I was like, oh, okay. All right. Interesting. this is cool. I get it. Like just
Plus,
spending
you're
time
in
with
the dark.
myself.
Like, who cares? You're like, you can't talk to anyone anyway.
You know what it's like? It's like when you went to Bora Bora by yourself. It feels like I'm not supposed to be here by myself. And like you're like ditching something. That's how
you're
it
like
feels for
skipping
me.
out on the world.
Yeah. Like when I went to Vegas to make an offer on the house, Steve couldn't come with me. And so I randomly flew to Vegas early in the morning by myself, rented a car by myself, was driving through Vegas by myself. I had never been to Vegas alone before. And I was like, I'm not supposed to be here. And then I played poker by myself, and then I went and made an offer on a house by myself. And I was like, what is this? They just let me out in the world.
That's how I feel all the time now.
No, like for me, it felt freeing though. It felt really like I can understand why people enjoy it, because that was the first time, like that movie theater experience, I think was the very first time I actually spent time alone with me. And I'm like, oh, I enjoy my own company.
Yes.
I understand why people like being alone now. That's why that trip to Bora Bora, like the whole time I'm like, oh my God, I don't have to I don't have to work with someone else to figure out what to eat or what to do next. I get to decide by myself.
Yeah.
Like, this is cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, like I totally get it now. Like just doing things by yourself, it's healthy. Like
once you get okay with it, then you actually really like it.
Yeah, it's like a little break from the world.
Yeah.
Yeah, there is like a little hump to get over.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of like, oh, I'm awkward. I don't know what to do with my body. Are people looking at me right now? Like, what is, I don't know. Like, do I have a booger or something? Like, it just feels weird. But then once you get over that little hump, like, it just feels very freeing. And then you realize, like, no one gives a shit about you.
No, people don't care about you. No one cares
They're
what
not
you're
even
doing.
looking at you like, is she ditching? Is she ditching?
Is she alone?
Let her out. Yeah. Put her back. Still not a bit. Do you have a hall pass, ma'am? Ma'am.
That's so true.
You should make an offer on a house by yourself.
Where's your husband?
You know,
I see
husband
a
for
ring.
that. Yeah. He's at home.
You think you can sign these documents, young lady, all by yourself?
No, I don't. I don't know.
Dude, speaking of, I know I brought it up, but speaking of a ring, I had to take my ring off because
your fingers too fat?
pregnancy. Like I got, like first I had to take off my wedding band because that fits me smaller, and then now my engagement ring doesn't fit me anymore. It's like too
So
tight.
you're not married anymore.
So I feel so naked.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm married, okay?
I promise.
no one's hitting on you. Fully pregnant.
Draw a line.
Yeah. Dude, and it's the complete opposite. This is so like sidetracking, but with Isaac, when I was pregnant with Isaac, I was 17. I remember feeling so like ashamed that I was pregnant and not married, and like so like shameful of that, to the point where like I almost bought myself a 25-cent like ring from like the coin machine just to like have a ring on there just so I would feel like a little bit better. But I never did that. And then now I am married, I am pregnant once again, and now I can't fit in my actual wedding ring. It's just so
you never
funny.
get to experience.
To feel like a flashback.
It does feel like a flashback moment, but now it's like on a comedic level, like a funny side of it, where it's
You're
not
like,
sad.
I know I'm not 16 and pregnant again. Okay.
Yeah, sorry, sidetracked. But anyway,
That's cute.
Next one here. It says talking to yourself is a healthy habit that people get shamed for. It says it's good. It's a good way to problem solve or even just vent about something.
Who even knows that you're talking to yourself and shaming someone about it?
Just put a camera in front of you. And it's called vlogging.
Hey, true.
Do I know that you talk to yourself? Like,
sometimes
who even
people
knows
can
that?
hear themselves like talking to themselves. So like what comes up to mind for me is, so my dad, I think I brought this up before in the past, but my dad used to always talk to himself, like under his breath or whatever, like giving himself like, I got to do this, I got to do that, blah, blah, blah. And when my parents divorced, like my mom just had so much like resentment towards my dad. So anything that reminded her of my dad, she would be like, crazy people do that. So then she would say like only crazy people talk to themselves. And then one time she was driving, she was like talking to herself, like saying things. And I'm like, Mom, are you crazy? I remember you saying that only crazy people can talk to themselves. And she was like, pendeja. Like, just being like, I'm just like, blah. I forgot her excuse.
Yeah.
But that's kind of what I remember. But like, there are people that judge people for talking to themselves. So then I remember like having that
like
ingrained.
out loud?
Yeah, like just,
I
don't
never
know.
really hear people talking to themselves out loud. Do you? Does Casey do it?
Yeah, sometimes. Or like I think once or twice in our entire relationship, I think I've heard you like whisper something.
I'm the type of person that judges people for talking out loud.
Really?
Casey
judges
says
people.
he judges people for
I
talking.
can't hear people talking out loud over
I
me
never
talking
do.
out loud. I'm talking too loud for people to hear that.
My thoughts are so loud. It's the only thing I'm paying attention to. I'm not listening to you talk to yourself.
You know why I think I talk to myself is because there's so many thoughts in there that I have to verbally say what I'm trying to focus on to shut out the other
Oh,
ones.
you have 17 personalities? Oh, okay.
The same personality, just a lot of voices. I'm like, stop it. Listen, I'm trying to concentrate. That's what Adderall helps with. But I'll be like, I'll lose my phone. Like I'm like, I was just carrying it. Where did I put it? Okay, hold on. We were in the room. We were in the podcast room. Okay, good. Let's go there. No, okay, it's not there. Where the fuck did I put it? Okay, so then we walk to the bathroom, and then like I'll take
that
us through
doesn't seem
the
weird to me.
Yeah,
Does that seem weird to you?
No.
Okay.
Do I do that? I don't even
No.
know if I talk out loud. I don't think I've ever caught myself.
I don't think I talk out loud, but
It's
yeah,
just trying
in
to
my head, I'm doing
clarify
that.
thoughts.
Yeah, it's the same. I do the same thing in my head. I just don't do it out loud.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think that's weird.
Yeah.
Me neither.
I've only heard people talk out loud because I feel like they're trying to fill the void.
Oh, that's a little different.
Yeah, I like to like walk their thoughts out. Like I don't think I've ever experienced that.
So Casey said that, what'd you say?
He's
Stupid. And you get mad at him for not remembering what you just fucking asked him for. Fucking put that on the table. You remember when you fucking get yelled at me for not remembering what was just said? You forgot what was just
I
said.
couldn't help it. I had to say it. No, so Casey said that whenever he feels like that whenever people are speaking out loud is to fill the void so they don't have to like be in silence.
Yeah.
So you judge that.
I judge that because I feel like it's performative. Like
He feels it's performative
it's to get attention.
to get
Oh,
attention.
so if they're around other people.
Yeah, it's like it's the only way that you would know someone speaks to themselves is if they're around someone else and they're just talking to themselves. They're like, you're not talking to me, but you're just talking to the ether.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's
I've never
performative.
experienced that.
I find it very interesting that that's your perspective. That
Yeah.
you feel that other people are being performative.
Like, are they performing for themselves? Do they know you're there?
It
I think
makes
they're trying to strike a conversation without actually striking. It.
Like, are they at a table? Like,
that,
they're-
I get
Yeah,
that.
they're baiting you into.
I
a
get that.
conversation, you know?
Yeah,
So he's
that's happened to
saying-
me.
Is it like when you're like at a bus stop or something like, and someone's like, "Motherfucker, can't even drive," blah blah blah, or like they're talking about something, and
yeah.
because that's happened before where I'm standing next to someone and they start commenting on the world around to no one, but like
Yeah.
they're just waiting for someone to like,
So like
Debating
to agree with them in
Yeah,
the conversation.
yeah.
Yeah, something like that.
I hear that a lot.
Yeah, I
like
get that part, but then like the other part where it's just like someone just talking or like rambling their own thoughts out loud, you find that to be performative?
Yes.
Oh, interesting.
I
Because
also
then,
find it annoying.
yeah, so
you could
I
not
don't
live
know.
in my house.
Because I hear that perspective from you, and I'm like, is that because like if you were to do that, you're coming at it from that perspective? Is it like a projection thing that you view other people like that?
Maybe I think maybe when I get awkward in silence, I do that. And
So that's where it's coming from, the judgment. You're judging yourself.
perhaps
Projection,
but
yeah.
then,
Yeah.
But then I do judge other people because that's my lens.
That's what I
Other people
think
do that,
most
that's my lens.
most judgments come from projections that you're insecure about.
Right,
Like,
exactly.
I dated this guy who was really insecure about his nose. Like, he thought he had a big nose, but he would always talk about other people's noses. Like, oh my God, look at that big nose on that girl. Like, oh my
Yeah.
God, that girl has such a big, that guy's nose is huge or
Yeah.
whatever. And I'm like, dude, calm down. Like,
Yeah.
That's crazy. That just triggered me a little bit because I've not liked my nose for so long, but every time I see someone's nose, even if they think it's ugly and they're like, I totally want to get a nose job, I'm like, no, but your nose is so pretty. I wish I had that one instead.
That's
It's
true
weird.
though. Like we always project our own
Yeah.
judgments or insecurities onto other people. That's such a fact. That's why when you brought that up, it triggered that for me where I'm like, oh, maybe that's how you act. Like if you were to speak out loud, you end up being performative,
And then
that's
you
why
feel cringe.
and then you're annoyed by yourself or whatever. That's interesting.
Very true.
Yeah, it always circles back to you.
yeah.
Everyone's so about themselves.
I'm trying to put that in context of my ex-rapper boyfriend. Like,
You don't ever want to be cocky about something you don't know anything
yeah,
about.
that's
'cause
what it
you
is.
value
Yeah.
knowledge and,
And
competence.
Not being fucking cringe.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's probably what
That's
it
so
is.
funny. All right, next one on this list. It says going to bed early. It's a healthy thing that people get.
Who's
Get
shaming
shamed.
those people?
Yeah, this one says I've been called an old lady many times because I just get tired
That's
earlier.
you, bitch.
You've been
You
shamed.
always like want to leave the club early.
Yeah.
You want to go to bed
I'm
early.
the
And then
one
we
going to
shame
bed.
you.
Oh, true. I've just gotten so used to it that I'm like,
you just don't care.
don't care.
You're like, it's my life. I don't give a fuck if you want to stay up. I'm not.
I'm genuine. I think I've been a 65-year-old woman since
Yeah.
I was like 22.
Yeah, so being 22 and then being like, I'm going to bed at 10 p.m., guys.
Oh, that was me for sure.
Peace out. You don't remember getting shamed?
Even if I chose to stay out with them, I would just fall asleep in the club or fall asleep at someone's
You've
house.
fallen asleep in front
My
of me
body
so
will
many
just be
times.
like, no, we're done.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
peace.
I wish I had that.
Yeah. What time do
See,
you...
y'all are jealous.
Yeah,
That's what
yeah,
people shame because
yeah.
they're like, I want to go home
See, it's
too, but I
projection.
need to be cool.
I wish I could sleep. No, it's not about staying out to be cool. It's like I literally can't sleep. It takes me like hours to fall asleep.
I was
Dang.
jealous of you because I was like, man, I want to stay up and party.
Yeah.
I'm
I'm
so
gonna miss
tired.
out. Yeah.
So funny.
You always want what you can't have.
What time do you wake up?
Like 7:30 or 8.
That's so early. No wonder you're out. Damn.
It's not even that early.
was
Most
a
people wake up at like 6.
That's early for me, girl.
Okay, yeah.
I wake up like at 8, 9.
After we moved, I was waking up at 10 every day, and
Oh
I
my
was like,
God.
"Oh my gosh, who am I?"
Are you okay?
No. and also, I've been playing poker till like 4:30 in the morning.
Okay, that's what it is.
damn.
You turn into Gina Darling.
yeah. I was actually gonna ask her about that. Like, hey, did you used to like be kind of a daytime person and then switch, or?
No, she's always been like that.
Well, now she's a daytime person.
Yeah,
she
she's
has a
switching.
job.
Yeah.
The other way.
I'm a gamer.
you literally
Card
are. You're a degenerate card gamer now. Staying up till 4 in the morning.
So
Yeah.
funny.
Gotta get it back. Gotta get even. I'll get it back.
Okay.
Chasing your losses.
Yeah.
All right, next one. It says being wrong. It's okay. It's healthy. It's healthy to express opinions and ideas. When we shame people for being wrong, we tend to stop new conversations from happening.
Yeah.
In this way, we lose opportunities to understand where others are coming from and squander opportunities to change minds.
So
I love
true.
this so much because, yeah, it's like, it's okay to be like for other people to be wrong, but to shame them so hard to the point where like now
They don't want to talk.
they don't want to talk.
Yeah.
They're afraid. Like they feel dumb or whatever. I relate to that so hard because there was so many times that I was wrong, like on JK News, for example, or like I'll get information that was from an article that they ended up revising after I already presented it. And then the information was incorrect, but then now it gets blamed on me because I was the one reading from it. And I'm just like, dude, like chill. Like it's not a big deal. Like, yeah, you can find out the correct information. You could have a conversation in the comments about it. Why does the shame need to be on top of that? Where it's like, you incompetent fucking idiot.
Yeah.
Like, what is wrong with you? Like, you can't do your research properly.
I think
It's
again
like,
that's
whoa.
the projection thing. It's just like all the other things, right? It's like they're afraid of getting outed for being wrong.
And it also is just from people taking things too seriously. Like
Yeah.
people get so tunnel visioned into like this thing that they're watching and they just like blast off and they're not really like zooming out like, oh, this is a person that I'm talking to about, like that this person has feelings and this behind a screen they don't really have
it's
the
like-
human connection.
I'm not a trained journalist either. Like,
Yeah.
chill.
There's no context involved with that.
Yeah.
Then it also the whole like shaming other people for having different opinions than you or a
Right.
different perspective, or even if they are wrong, I would much rather hear all the reasons they believe what they believe so that we can have a discussion about it and then there's discourse and then I could let them know like what I believe and why I believe it and why I disagree with some things. And that's how you change people's minds if they are to be changed, but you're not going to get it by shaming them.
Right.
I think people I've asked the question before to people that go really hard on the like, no, fuck you, you're wrong. You know, I'm like, are you scared of changing your mind? Is that why you don't want to engage? And just genuinely, like,
Yeah.
I'm just curious at why people think that they just, I
Like,
refuse
once you
to
make your
engage with somebody
decision-
that blah, blah, blah. It's
Yeah.
like, but if you want to change their mind, like just listen to what their points are so that you can properly counteract those points, not like shun them out completely.
Yeah.
But I do think that there is a fear involved that like might be contagious.
Right.
I might catch their opinion and stick
Yeah.
to it, and they've made it part of their identity.
Yeah.
It is kind of weird. It's like, what's at the root of it? What's wrong with being wrong about something? It
That's
just
the only way you
shows
learn.
it's no, but like, what is it that we're afraid of? Like, is it signals? So pride first of all. Okay.
Yeah.
And then
you don't want to be seen as incompetent or stupid
Right.
or get some kind of branding on you that you're dumb.
Mhm.
And then now
it's all that shame.
yeah, you're
that
not
makes
you're not
it harder.
credible as a person anymore because you're wrong about one thing, so now you're wrong about everything.
Right.
Yeah. But I think, I mean, yeah, once you get to a certain place where it's like when you're willing to change your mind based on new information, then you suddenly become more trustworthy, right? Because like if I was to tell you something and you would never fucking change your mind on it, I would be like, I don't know if I can. I don't think that they use like critical thinking and like they're not willing to. So like it's okay that they were wrong, but now that they have some sort of other information, they still won't admit they're wrong. Now I feel like you're even dumb. Like if you were just to be like,
how stubborn.
I guess maybe I was wrong on that. But
if you won't even take the information to process it or anything,
that to me, I will judge you harder than if you were wrong the first time.
Yeah.
Like you can be wrong the first time.
Pride.
We're all wrong about all kinds of shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Once again, everybody's full of shit. Nobody knows what they're doing.
I mean, but the main thing too is like the fact about shutting the conversation down. Once you're already like move past the part where they're like a person is incorrect, like not even being able to move past that and then still have to continue a conversation where you can explore ideas and just be like, see, you were wrong, you're fucking wrong, and then like having that ego and that pride get in the way.
That I told you so thing.
I told you so.
I think maybe sometimes people aren't willing to say that they're wrong because they feel like the other person hasn't fully gotten it too. Like, because if I have fully believed and consumed something and I'm so deeply like rooted in this thought or this theory or whatever, and you're like, you're still not getting it. And I'm just going to be like, no, we can't keep talking because you're just not getting it. So let's just stop fucking, like I've felt that before, but that's upsetting though. I don't know I feel like I've even had those conversations with like people close to me or like family members or something where I'm just like, they're so strong on one thing. And I'm like, no, I don't even know where to take this conversation because I just feel like you're not even in my same world. You're not here. You're not seeing it, or like you're so sold on your own idea. So then
there's that saying
at what point do you stop? Like,
once you know something, your brain shuts down to any other options. Like once you decided you know something, you're no longer open-minded to anything, and you like actually don't get to receive new information that could help you learn or grow because you've already decided that you know something.
But not everyone's like that though, I don't think.
Once you decide that you know it, it's very hard for you to get your mind changed, to
reprogram
like, be receptive to any new information. If you haven't all the way decided when you're like, okay, there's a good chance that this is the thing. Okay. Then you're still receptive. But once you've decided, nope, I know that this is, it's almost like you shaped that reality. So now you're
stuck with it.
Yeah, you can't, you're not even receptive.
I think I just realized that I'm not, okay, I know on a lot of things I am very staunch on, but I think there's a lot of things I'm not because I've changed my mind about a very large amount of things over the last 2 years that I felt pretty strongly about before. So maybe I just wasn't that deeply rooted in them, or I was still kind of
be like, no, you're wrong. No, like absolutely. You don't speak in absolutes. I think like you're very confident in your opinions and your ideas, but I also think that you'll take what the other person is saying and you'll do your own research on it. Like, and you'll kind of process it and digest it and like kind of soak a little bit in it before just point blank rejecting it.
Yeah. Maybe that's why I feel like I'm kind of like a moderate person, just even politically too. Because I'm like, well, I kind of agree with some of these things and I kind of agree with some of those things. And then I don't think I've completely shut down that many things.
Right.
Yeah.
Because even the things I feel very strongly about, like say abortion, like the right to have an abortion or something, getting
pro-choice.
Deep, right? I'm pro-choice, but then I'm like, there's like a 1% of me that's like, I get why they don't want us to have that option, right? But like, I still feel like I want us to have that option, but I can a little bit, I kind of see it, but then also no. Yeah. Like also go fuck yourself. Like
you can there's also a middle ground there where I'm like, hey, once it's to like a certain point, like
obviously,
then I'm like, kind of hard to make the argument. Like, but you should have this choice. Yeah, at least for a little bit of time.
So I guess it's hard for me to be 100% on really anything because if someone else can have another opinion, then in my head I'm like, well, there's a reason why, right? Even though I vastly disagree with you, but I still get why you feel that way.
Yeah,
I relate to that.
And I think that's the important part, is validating like why someone would feel that way. Like, okay, whether it's your upbringing, whether you had some like trauma in your childhood that fucked your mentality up, and now you like, it's like even people that hate things or like that will like abuse puppies or something, like the most evilest people. You're like, okay, what happened?
It came from somewhere.
What happened to make you feel that this is okay? I'm never going to agree with you that it's okay to kill puppies, but I want to know. And that's the only way that we as a species, I think, find solutions to these things where now we know, okay,
And empathy
people
and
traumatized in
understanding.
childhood are more likely to grow up to be serial killers. Like there's like a lot of serial killers had something that happened to them that fucked them up. So let's try to take as much prevention as possible, protect our children and have them not be traumatized in childhood. And there's less likely a chance that they will form some psychological disorder that makes them violent.
Yeah, that's why I remember having a conversation with Casey before about this, where I'm like, I don't feel anyone is born evil. Like I don't feel like evil is created.
I think everyone's susceptible to evil.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think anyone's just like born pure evil.
Yeah. So
Such a weird
that's
concept.
A whole,
Yeah, that's a whole different episode.
thing, yeah.
And I don't think they should be shamed. Let's normalize evil, okay? Stupid.
For most of us, learning a second language in high school or college wasn't exactly a high point in our academic careers. Now, thanks to Babbel, the language learning app that sold more than 10 million subscriptions, there's an addictively fun and easy way to learn a new language. Whether you'll be traveling abroad, connecting in a deeper way with family, or you just have some free time, Babbel teaches bite-sized language lessons that you'll actually use in the real world. I personally am studying French with Babbel. I only do it in the evenings when I'm in the tub taking a little evening bath, because that's my relaxed time and my time to fantasize about going back to France. And I try to learn some words that I could use so that I could impress the boys, aka les garçons. Anyways, Babbel's 15-minute lessons make it the perfect way to learn a new language on the go. Other language learning apps use AI for their lesson plans, but Babbel lessons were created by over 100 language experts. Their teaching method has been scientifically proven to be effective. With Babbel, you can choose from 14 different languages, including Spanish, French, Italian, and German. Plus, Babbel's speech recognition technology helps you improve your pronunciation and accent. There's so many ways to learn with Babbel. In addition to lessons, you can access podcasts, games, videos, stories, and even live classes. And it comes with a 20-day money-back guarantee. There is no risk. I love the Babbel user interface. I think the lesson plans, the graphics, just everything about it is basically, I think this is the best one on the market, and you can hold me to that. You should just give it a try. If you're trying to learn a new language, try Babbel, even just for a short period of time. Give it a shot. Start your new language learning journey today with Babbel. Right now, when you purchase a 3-month Babbel subscription, you'll get an additional 3 months for free. That's 6 months for the price of 3. Just go to Babbel.com and use promo code BIGMOOD. That's BABBEL.com and use code MOOD. Babbel, language for life.
Online shopping isn't slowing down anytime soon. Is your business ready to keep up with the pace? Well, with ShipStation, you'll never have to worry about shipping ever again. You can make the switch to a solution that handles all your shipping needs quickly, affordably, and painlessly. Save time by funneling all your orders into one simple interface, no matter where you're selling. So if you're selling on Amazon, eBay, Etsy, your own website, really like anywhere, even your phone, like there's no more headaches from dealing with the returns and return tracking, because ShipStation makes it super, super easy. So if you own a product-based business, just save your sanity knowing your orders are handled and you are getting the best rates. You can make shipping the easy part of having an online store. You have better ideas to think about. They're bigger, they're better. Shipping, what? We don't want to think about that. No wonder 98% of companies that use ShipStation for a year keep using it for as long as they're in business. I personally love the ease of use. I've saved a lot of money with ShipStation. Those two things are priceless to me. So ship more in less time. Just use our code BIGMOOD to get a 60-day free trial. That's 2 months free of no hassle, stress-free shipping. Just go to ShipStation.com, click on the microphone at the top of the page, and type in BIGMOOD. That's ShipStation.com. Enter offer code BIGMOOD and make ship happen.
All right, next one. It says bettering yourself. I've seen people take photos of overweight people in the gym, shaming them. Like, seriously?
What?
Yeah, that's really
like
fucking
a
shitty.
kind of an immature personality trait. I mean, you don't
definitely.
have to be young to be immature either.
It's also, I don't think it's even just immaturity. I think it's another, like going back, like the projection thing. Where
They don't
it's
wanna
like
look like the
they
fatty.
are insecure themselves. And so they have to shame other people. And that's how, like, high school bullies, that's literally their whole fucking thing. Where it's like, oh, I see something in you that I wish I had, or that I see that I have, and I'm going to shame you for it.
Or that I'm scared of.
Or that I'm scared of. Yeah. And I'm just going to make you feel shitty about it. When I first read this title of this list, that's the first thing that I thought of.
It's like people who are homophobic that are actually secretly gay.
Mm-hmm.
But they don't want they want to just deny that part of themselves.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It really all circles back to you.
Yeah, there was a video on, there's like a whole lot of like cringe compilation stuff, or like just sites or subreddits or whatever, where you can like see cringe stuff. And sometimes it's just like maybe like a quote unquote overweight person like just swimming in a pool, and like someone took the camera underwater and you can kind of see their body like moving. Like I saw this one video, their body's just like moving crazy because they're very overweight, right? And the water's just kind of like rippling, and they're calling it cringe, but I'm like, this person's just swimming. And then like, yeah, so it's like bullying at that point. And it's like, that's probably the best way for them to get exercise in the beginning of their weight loss journey, is like in water. It helps. And like, don't shame that person for like going to go swim. Like they're not being cringe, they're just fucking swimming. And
they're trying to do something.
Yeah. So I hate when I see that too. But I think it's when like someone's doing something where they're too cocky about it, where I'm like, yeah, you know what? Go fuck yourself. Yeah. Like those, like some like gym bros are like so cocky, and I'm like, fuck off.
They're way more cringe than the person's just trying to swim.
Yeah.
I know. But you know, it's interesting to explore too. It's like, if it's a spectrum of like cocky to insecure, like where's the, like at what point do we cross over the threshold?
Too far either way.
It's like, you want to be semi-confident with what you're doing. You don't want to be super self-conscious.
To not do anything.
Yeah.
Well, being boastful, I think, is the cockiness aspect that turns people off. It's like when you could be confident, but projecting to the world, like, look at me, look how confident I am. I'm gonna fuck you. Like, I'm the best. You're the worst. When you're lowering others to boost yourself up. I think that's what it is.
That to me, so instead of it being a spectrum, it's like a circle. Because then to me, like how boastful they are, that's how insecure they are.
Yeah.
Like
that's
the guys with their big fat trucks that are like, you're like, oh, does he have a small penis? Like, why is this truck so big?
Yeah, that's exactly what I think of. Like, I'm like, oh, it's okay.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have to like overcompensate. It's all right. Like, it's cool. You're good. It's all right. I end up seeing that as like mega self-conscious, super insecure. Like, oh, people that are just so, very boastful, but also very like, do you see how confident I am? Like, I am so fucking confident. And it's like, ooh, they're so insecure.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. Because normally you don't have to tell someone what you are.
Like you don't have to say you're super confident. You're such a whatever. Like now, I guess, I don't know if it comes with age or experience, but now I see right through that, where it's like, oh, I could peel back the curtain and see how small you feel. Like,
I get a little bit of it as like fake it till you make it. Like maybe someone needs that in the beginning to like get started. But I think very soon after you get started and start making a little bit of a headway, you should kind of pretty quickly like grow out of that. Yeah, dial it back. And just be.
Or just settle.
Like,
settle into you.
Just keep doing
into
it.
who you are.
Yeah.
You don't have to overcompensate.
Like keep selling it.
Maybe they're scared of that.
Yeah.
Of like who they really are.
They can't find themselves.
If they shut up
deep,
about it.
Y'all. That's fucking deep. Write that shit down.
Nice callback.
You liked
I
it.
enjoyed that.
Did you get a little bit wet?
Yeah.
Everything I do is to
Don't
impress
leave
you.
Don't leave us.
Okay, next one on this list, it says estranging from toxic parents can be healthy. It's a healthy thing that people get shamed for.
Yeah. That's a tough one. That's a real tough one, because everyone has their own opinions based on their own relationships.
Exactly.
And so you never know how bad someone's relationship is, to where you saying like, oh, just try to make it work is actually very traumatizing.
Yeah.
Right.
I would never judge someone
opposite.
for estranging that from, because you really don't know.
Right.
Like maybe they're not telling you a lot.
Exactly.
What's the opposite?
Or the opposite is estranging from a toxic parent. Like for that person in particular, they might find it more hurtful to estrange themselves from their parent for whatever reason, and they're trying to work. I don't know. Like I'm just trying to.
Or
see
like
it.
they're acting like their parents are so toxic, but really they're just being parents, and so they're kind of like, I'm never talking to you again because you want me to actually do something with my life, or you know, like they're just like trying to be parents and helpful versus like actually harming you and your psyche. Maybe there's like a difficult thing between kids and parents where they're like, you're being toxic, but the parents are like, I'm just trying to help you.
Yeah.
Like if you don't want to do it, okay.
You're ruining my life.
The fuck was
I think
that?
that was a cat popping a balloon. Okay. That's what I'm gonna guess.
The cat just popped a balloon in my room. Sounded like a fucking little. I was like, is there fireworks in this house?
Yeah, it sounded like a gunshot to me.
Yeah.
It's not a really good neighborhood, Gina's house.
Yeah.
Oh, it's terrible.
But yeah. So estranging from toxic parents, that one's really interesting to me because like I personally would agree with this. It's like I would cut my parents like this, like
Yeah.
real quick if it really reached to that point. But yeah, like I guess I relate to the opposite of it too, where it's like, well, you know, there's a reason why parents are the way they are, or they've done what they've done, and then like
Or they're doing their best.
They're doing their
Yeah.
best. There's like a
If they really are.
right, or if they're like really trying to
Yeah.
make amends for their past, and like
Mhm.
trying to like create a new future, and like yeah, like I get why people are against estranging from their parents.
Yeah, I think you have to define toxic, like you were saying, because there's definitely narcissistic parents that I do think you should.
Extremely damaging.
It's really
Yeah.
damaging to continue because they've trained you to be codependent.
Mhm.
Like it's hard for you to break it off with
Right.
them. One of my good friends has this where she knows that her mom is like extremely narcissistic and abusive, but she also, whenever her mom's around, she like can't help but cater to her. Like she just, it's just this innate thing, and there's no way for her to like really sever it, even though when she's away from her mom, she's like, oh, I should really like stop interacting with her. Yeah, I can see how it's hard. I've never been in that situation, so I can't really, but you were saying that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there was a period where towards the end of my mom's life, like luckily I got to talk to her again right before she passed, but towards the end of her life, there were a couple years where I kind of just didn't talk to her at all because she really went off the deep end. Like she really started to lose her shit.
Mm-hmm.
And she actually kicked me out of her house. Like this had never happened before, but we got into a disagreement to at one of the last times I had seen her, where she actually, I drove an hour to go see her. And when I got there, we were talking for like 10 or 15 minutes, and she literally kicked me out of her house because we disagreed on a certain subject.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, okay, but it's not that fucking serious. And she's like, no, I can't have someone that thinks blah, 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 blah in my house. Get the fuck out. And I was just like
Whoa.
looking at her like, are you fucking kidding me? Like never in my
Whoa.
life. Like, so she really degraded like mentally towards the end. But then so maybe a couple of years went by, I didn't really talk to her, and then towards the end of her life, when she actually kind of lost it even more, it's almost like she forgot even that part of herself. So she was just kind of looking at me like her daughter again. So I did get to kind of make some sort of peace, which not everyone gets,
Yeah.
right before she passed. But yeah, there was a period in time where she really lost her she went cuckoo. And so I just had to completely disengage because it was literally hurting me on a daily
Yeah.
basis, and it was affecting the way that I was treating the people around me, even just because I would have to deal with her, and then I would be kind of like taking on like who she was is like it reflected on me, and then so I was just angry that like I am like a part of that or something, you know. So yeah, there has to be a point where it weighs you down so bad that you just have to let go. And even if you just let go for like maybe a year or 2 years or just something to kind of get your own strength and like get your own like feet, you know, stable or something, just to kind of remember like you are your own person, and like you don't have to soak them in constantly because it can be really devastating.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I definitely agree. Like it was because I never would disengage until something just snapped. I was like, she fucking kicked me out. Like I'm gone.
Yeah.
Peace out. You know.
Wow, it reminds me of Eminem.
Oh my god.
With his mom.
You hear the song Headlights?
Probably.
You should hear that song.
Do you want to rap it for me?
No. Okay, I will.
Oh, she actually offered for you. Okay, next one. Not drinking every time you go out with friends. People get shamed for that.
Oh.
And it's a healthy thing. You don't have to drink. Your liver can fucking chill.
I think once you're in your
It's cool.
30s, no one's taking shit that seriously.
Yeah, no one really
Yeah, that
cares
sounds
once
like
you
an
get older.
early-
But
Yeah.
also, if you're in a group of alcoholics, though, they will shame you.
Yeah, I was gonna say that too. Like a group of people that like they need to have fun with alcohol, and if you aren't engaging with alcohol, like what's wrong with you?
That's a red flag for me. Like if I'm in a group of people and they're like, "You're not gonna fucking drink? Well, get the fuck out!" Like, what are you doing? We don't need this. We don't
geez.
need the sober person fucking remembering everything we're doing tomorrow. It's like, oh, okay, you have a real issue with alcohol, and this is like not really a person that I need to add to my friend circle.
Yeah.
Because like if you enjoy me, you can enjoy me whether I'm drunk or not. It doesn't matter if you are or not. Like I don't give a shit if you want to drink.
Those are
That's
the people
fine.
that the DARE program warned us against. They're like, you're gonna be pressured.
You're gonna get pressured to drink.
I'm like, oh, when I get to high school, everyone's gonna pressure me to do drugs, and I'm like, oh no, what am I gonna do?
Yeah, that's
so
like
funny.
super red flag though.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Okay, next one. As a man using sunblock. I can't even tell you how many times I've been heckled on the golf course for putting sunblock on my face before being out in the sun for the next 4 to 5 hours.
Yeah, but the
Dude.
women love you.
Your
like
skin
a man
loves
that takes
you.
care of his
I
skin.
know.
That's awesome.
That's one of the masculine bullshit things that we need to cut out, because men, like some men, like 1% of men age really well, but then a lot of guys, because they do zero fucking skincare, they drink too much sometimes, they're fucking smoking cigars, like they do all this shit and they age
out in the
fucking
sun
terribly.
forever, never putting sunscreen on.
Never using lotion. Like
Casey's waving at me
they
because I'm
look
like staring at him
shit.
down.
Yeah, like take care of your skin, please. You're
No,
gonna
but
age
like
better.
that whole thing too, like because of that, I guess stigma, would that be appropriate to label this? Of like men caring for their skin, then men themselves judge themselves if they try to take care of their own skin.
They're
And
like,
that's
I feel
kinda
like
what
a wussy
happens
now.
Cause then like Casey would be like, oh my God, I have all these sunspots and like I have so many like new wrinkles or whatever happening on my face. I'm like, it's because you don't put sunblock. And so I'm always like, just put some sunscreen on.
Then he feels like a little bitch because he put sunscreen on.
He's just
Husbands just don't put sunscreen on. Even if they get burned 1,000 times. I'm like, you're a lobster. And
Let
like,
me give you credit though,
put
because he
sunscreen
does
on.
put it on because he goes hiking every single morning though. He will he'll come back home and he gives me a kiss. I'm like, oh, I can smell the sunscreen. Good job.
Yeah.
Like you're doing.
I think they don't want to be like, remember when Mark Zuckerberg had that like white cast thing?
Dude, that doesn't help.
They're afraid of looking like a dumbass. But you know who puts on sunscreen that's masculine as fuck is surfers. All the surfer guys that I grew up around, they all fucking put sunscreen on their
Take care of your
face.
skin.
True. You know what
And
I
they
just
wear
thought
hats.
of? And I don't even know if this is related or just anecdotal, but like all the people I know that got skin cancer are women who wear sunscreen.
Oh, interesting.
But I'm like, how come I've never heard of a man getting sunscreen?
Because they don't get diagnosed. They don't go to the doctor.
That's true.
There we go.
Booyah!
That's
Slam
where it
dunk.
is.
We go to the doctor.
We
Men
go to
don't.
the doctor.
Yeah. We get diagnosed for shit instead
It's
of just
always
dying.
like a random obituary, like they died out of nowhere.
Yeah.
It's like,
He never went to the doctor in 40 years.
Yeah, then they won't get the what is it called when you're dead and they find out how you died?
the autopsy.
That one. Yeah, the autopsy. Like you won't get an autopsy.
Yeah.
We don't need to find out how Jim died. He went out like a man.
Yeah, this next one is a man thing too. It's men crying. It's
Yeah.
healthy for men to
yeah.
cry, but there's like this shame around it where it's like, oh, you little bitch, you're crying or whatever. Like,
Yeah.
I really hope that this new generation though, because it
I
seems
think
like
they are.
yeah, like they're growing, they're evolving, they're being more like emotionally open and
Yeah.
like just very conscious of like the human experience. That I feel like now it's not that prevalent of like making men be like feel shameful for feeling emotions or saying I love you, man, or hugging or whatever. But like our generation and before, like
Yeah,
is
it was
really
bad.
bad.
Everything I've seen like on the internet at least, which I know isn't the best pool of people, but like all the Gen Z YouTubers and stuff that I've watched, all the men seem very emotionally aware.
Yeah.
So I feel like they're in the right direction.
Yeah, I think
Steve's
so too.
been crying during episodes more. I mean, not like all the time, but like once a year there'll be an episode that he gets teary-eyed
On
over.
your other
Something on
podcast?
TV?
Yeah, on my other podcast,
Oh,
If They
on your
Don't Tell You, go watch it on any platform. No, but I felt almost the opposite. And well, I got shamed a lot for crying by my dad when I was a kid, but and I'm a very emotional person, and it's just the way that any emotion comes out of me, like joy, happiness. I just get an overwhelming amount of emotion and it comes out through crying. But I've always been in fields that were pretty male dominated. And I feel like if I cried in front of them or like when I was feeling emotional, I had to hide it because then I would just get the women, they're so
Yeah.
emotional, they're not
Yeah.
like logical or whatever. And I was so scared of like that taking away credibility because I'm
Right.
just emotional, which has nothing to do with like I'll be crying and saying logical things while I'm crying. It's just a way of getting rid of that extra tension in your body.
Yeah.
It's really natural and it's
I mean,
really
emotion
healthy.
is very important. No one can be purely logical
Yeah.
and be great.
And we're
Like,
actually more emotional creatures.
Yeah, we
that-
are.
And that's why I think people that shame people for having emotions is they're scared. They like
Yeah.
to think, oh, I'm very logical. I'm very, very logical.
yeah.
And I never have emotions.
Oh
'cause
my
I'm
God.
so
and then
logical.
the people that think that they're the most logical are the most emotional.
yes.
Like, the
It just comes out in
most
other ways that
emotional.
they're not aware of. Like
Yeah.
they're releasing that tension in other ways that are probably even more damaging.
Yeah, because they end up having anger problems,
Yep.
which
Yeah.
anger throws off your judgment more than any other
More.
thing.
Yeah.
It's the most damaging emotion to
Yeah.
have.
Okay, next one is minding your business. Some people, some perceive it as you not liking them. So
Minding
people
does
just
that mean?
business.
I guess they're probably saying like in a situation where it's a group setting or something. I don't know. I'm trying to think of an example.
Yeah, like if you're keeping too much to yourself.
Yeah, then people think that you don't like them because
Like
you're
you're
not
like
engaging.
antisocial.
I guess it could come off antisocial.
I mean, it is a part of the culture to gossip, right? It's always been. So I guess if you don't want to involve yourself in that kind of thing and you just want to mind your own business, and maybe people are like, why don't they fucking want to be a part
What a
of
fuddy-duddy.
why aren't they
I've
participating?
never heard of that fuddy-duddy.
It's white.
Yeah, you're not
speak.
white.
That's white speak.
Yeah, what
That's
is
her
that?
white side.
It's my white side.
It's your
coming
mom.
out.
It's your mom
Yeah.
speaking.
It actually
Explain.
is. She said that a lot.
Yeah.
What is it? Explain.
Oh my god.
It's like when you're a party pooper.
Oh.
Like you're like poo-pooing on everyone's good
Yeah.
time.
Fuddy-duddy?
Yeah. It's like she's never fucking heard English before.
I've never heard this term in my life.
Have you heard the term? This one it gets some laughs sometimes. Getting gussied up.
Yes.
No, I've never
That's
heard
a
of that.
Southern white thing though.
You know,
Gussied up?
Getting
Like
gussied
getting
up.
dolled up. Like
Oh,
Getting,
dolled
like,
up?
yeah.
I thought it was like getting upset.
Getting gussied up and going out on the town.
Never heard of these terms.
Have you heard that, Casey? He's been around enough
Oh,
white people.
yeah.
Another thing.
Daddy, though.
Yeah.
Oh, he didn't hear a fuddy-duddy. He's been around
That's a
white
little
people.
deep. That's a little deep into white
That
culture.
is like
Nikki.
very Southern
That's
white.
really deep. Yeah.
The Southern Belle.
I didn't know you went that deep in our whiteness.
You know. I actually have family from Georgia, so
Oh, gee.
That's why.
I'm like pretty white, okay? Sometimes. Like this is like my minority side of
Yeah.
I'm in the middle.
It's a spectrum, okay?
That's hilarious. I'll be the Filipino representation.
You're
You're
the
the
dark,
Mexican.
you're the dark side. It's all Spanish anyway.
That's true. Spanish blood.
Is this
Yeah.
a white people thing? Because my mom says this a lot too. She's like, honey, don't let them get your goat.
Get your goat?
Yeah.
I've never heard that.
Okay.
Your mom is fucking weird.
How about this?
You know you're judging?
What is get your goat?
don't let them bother you.
Like bring you down?
Like, yeah, exactly. Like your prized goat. Like, don't let them get it.
No, I haven't heard
Your
that
goat?
one.
Your goat, yeah.
That's a
And
different kind of white
we made
people.
fun of her for that.
Those are the Appalachian whites or something. That's a different kind of white.
Also, when she'd sit down at a restaurant, she's like, I need something to wet my palate.
Wet your palate?
Yeah, I've heard
say
that. I've heard that.
Okay.
Interesting. I've
Wet,
never
but
heard
like
of these.
WHET.
Oh, is it?
That's like I think.
I just thought she wanted a drink.
Yeah.
For her literal
Wait, what's-
palate. Like,
What's that word?
Look, maybe you can Google it really quick.
What does it mean?
See if you can Google WHET. I could be making this up. I could be wrong. But
Just
type
to get
in
your appetite up.
To
wet.
sharpen, to make
There you
more
go.
keen, to stimulate, to
Yeah.
hone.
Is it? I was right.
Yeah.
WHET.
W-H-E-T.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
So that's not really like a white trash thing. That's just like a thing.
just a regular
It's just a regular thing. Yeah.
Any race can say this.
Any race can say that. Yeah. To wet your palate.
all right, and that's our episode, you guys. Thank you for watching. I actually want to know, what have you guys been shamed for? Let us know in
that
the
you
comments.
don't think you should be shamed for.
Yeah,
It's
like
okay,
something
it's
that's like
healthy.
healthy. Where it's like, wait, why? Like, this is a healthy habit. Why am I being shamed for this? Let us know in the comments. Actually, I have one.
Ooh.
Well, I don't know if I'm being shamed for it. I'm not being shamed for it, but a healthy habit
She's
is
like
like
bragging right now. She's like, actually, what I do is
no. But like something that I think is healthy is not being on social media so much.
Oh, yeah.
But it's like part of my job. So
Yeah.
So like
You're self-shaming because you're not doing your job.
exactly.
Yeah.
I'm self-shaming. Exactly.
It's
No,
so hard.
this job is not healthy, so you're on the right track.
It does mess
Don't
with
worry
your
about it.
mental a lot.
Yeah.
I've definitely taken a lot of time off from
like
social media.
sharing like throughout this whole pregnancy, I've been kind of like pretty much MIA.
That's true.
And
Most people are like, I'm pregnant.
yeah, like so many.
Look at my pictures. I'm in a milk bath.
I'm in a milk bath.
yeah, but like I don't know. I'm just like I got over it. Like I don't know. Like I'm just so I see
That's
social.
very healthy.
I see social media and I'm like, that's a chore to create.
Yeah, that's why I chose to literally go be an accountant.
Yeah, I'm so jealous of
Sorry,
that girl.
guys.
An accountant.
An accountant.
I'm shaming her for how she says accountant.
Accountant.
All right, guys. Well, thank you for watching. Make sure to rate us on iTunes 5 stars. That's super helpful for this podcast.
Yeah.
Also, what's super helpful is if you can visit our sponsors and show us support through
Just say
our
you
sponsors.
found them through us.
Just visit the
Yeah.
link at
Big
least.
mood.
Just
Yeah.
go check out
and
the link.
share
At
with your
least click
friends.
it.
Share the episode with your friends if you related.
Yeah.
And we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.